Do you guys want to hear something crazy?
This person's story is crazy. It's a ghost story involving multiple ghosts, different things happening. I feel like one of them was potentially possessing her at one point, or I'm honestly not really sure about that, but something is happening. But this is crazy. Watch this and let me know what you think.
Do you guys want to hear something crazy?
No, really, this is bizarre. When I was a baby, my mom met a man. She married him. He raised me until I was 8 years old. I thought he was my father. He was my stepfather. One day he went to the store. He never came back. I did not see him for 21, 22 years. If you hear licking sounds, it's my cat. These two paintings were in the dining room of my childhood home. And then when I became school age, I would come home from school. I would sit right in front of them and I would speak to them as if they were my parents. I would talk to them. I had some weird connection. Right around this time, from like toddler to like 6, 7 years old, every night before I went to bed, I had these footsteps that would come down the hallway, and the metal doorknob in the old Victorian house would rattle, and this lovely couple would come in, and I was so excited to see them. They would talk to me, they would smile, and they would tuck me in. I did reach a point, probably about 6 or 7, where I had finally addressed it, where I said to my mother and my stepfather, if I don't get to bed soon, like my friends aren't going to be able to come tuck me in, like something like that. There was something that triggered this, and, to their surprise, and who tucks you in? And I explained to them, that I had these two people that came in and tucked me in every night, and they were pretty freaked out by it. But also at that point in my life, they'd been freaked out by a lot of stuff that I said, so I don't think they paid it too much mind. Fast forward again, my mom and my stepdad get divorced, okay? My mom kites these. She takes them. She puts them in a storage unit. She did not take them out again until I was moving out of state, getting married, yada, yada. And then she gave me the key and said, well, if you're getting your own house and you're getting married and stuff, I want you to have these. And I was just utter shock. I could not believe she still had them. I had been estranged from them for so long. I missed them. So I just had this dejected look on my face the whole time, and I packed him up, and I didn't ask too many questions. Lock in, we're not even at the crazy part yet. Let's fast forward a little bit more. I am with some friends, we're drinking, we're talking, and out comes this tale about how when I drink certain drinks, my alter ego named Gail comes out. And Gail is not someone I invented. She introduced herself to the gang. And the next morning when I would have anxiety and be like, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? Everyone would be like, oh, that was just Gail. And this is a whole thing that was going on in 2 different friend groups that I had, not even to my knowledge. So the funny on-running joke for the last 10 years or so has been if I drink X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to tell you, Gail comes out. And Gail is this wealthy older woman who lives in Rhode Island, and she's been married a handful of times. Sometimes we kind of think she killed her husbands. It's kind of weird. She's big in jewelry. She wears all of her old wedding rings, Super Bowl rings. There's just so much lore with Gail introducing herself. Today, okay? We're here. We're present times. I reconnect with my estranged stepfather. I find out that at one point in my childhood, he broke out a photo of his parents. My stepfather grew up in the house that he lived in with me. He bought his old childhood home. We moved in there. He found a photo in the attic of his parents, and he took it downstairs, and my mother framed it, and we put it up on the TV, and I walked in one day, and I went, oh my God, those are my friends who tucked me in at night. Where did you find that photo? And he was like, those are my dead parents, Savannah. What are you talking about? It was a whole thing. So we had discovered that day, I don't really remember that. We discovered that day that, his parents were the ghosts that were coming in and tucking me in at night. These pictures were heirlooms. They were heirlooms from his family. Okay, when I'm growing up and I'm being forced to reconcile with my biological father, whom I did not know, I felt like I had no connection with him, but I was always longing and pining for my stepfather. I felt like that was my dad, my family, my soul connection. I missed him so much. So we're reconnecting. I'm finding out that, his parents were the ghosts that used to tuck me in. These pictures that I've been toting around for the last 10 years are heirlooms of his. There's more. In that house that I grew up in, where all of these ghostly things were happening to me, when he was a child, there was a woman named Gail. I'm going to be honest, I spaced who she is. She was like a friend of the family or a cousin or an aunt or a best friend's aunt or something like that. There was a drunken old woman who fell down the stairs in that house. The stairs were connected to my bedroom. My bedroom had 2 entryways. The stairs were connected to my bedroom. She fell down and died. Her name was Gail. Gail had a drinking problem, and she wore too much jewelry. There's more. My stepfather's mother, the ghost that would come in and tuck me in at night, I found out recently, a couple months ago, her and I share the same birthday because my stepfather texted me and said happy birthday on my birthday. We just reconciled with him this last year. Like, we just started talking. I found it odd that he remembered my birthday. So I actually said to him, I was like, you remembered my birthday after all this time? And he said, yeah, you and my mother have the same birthday. He asked what I was doing for my birthday. I told him I was going to the Omni Hotel in the White Mountains, the White Mountain Resort, Rushmore. New Hampshire, Omni, big white red roof. Everybody loves it. I love it there. I've always wanted to go there. My boyfriend, my lovely boyfriend, he made arrangements for us to go celebrate my birthday for a couple of days there. And that was on my bucket list. I had always wanted to go there. Why did I want to go there? I used to have dreams that I was in the ballroom dancing. I had never been there. I had never heard stories or seen pictures, but I just always had this yearning to go. When I was married, I always asked my husband if he would take me there, and he'd say no. That's why I have a boyfriend now. So my boyfriend took me there. So I tell my stepdad, I go, yeah, for my birthday, we're going to the place. And he goes, oh, that's so funny. My parents used to go there once a year. They would go dancing in the ballroom. Well, anyway, I'm going to get cracking on this book here. I got to finish this thing. And tomorrow, that stepdad and I, that old guy, we're going to go shoot some golf balls and have a good time. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to hang out. So anyway,